Rachel K, and I'm sitting here with Donovan. His heart don't pump no Kool-Aid Sadiq. And this is Don't Believe the Hype, the evening edition. Normally we're on Tuesday afternoon, but we're going to move it to Friday evening until further notice because Donovan has some other things that he can't get out of. So, what are we doing on Friday night? We
sitting at home.
Sitting at home.
Watching what? SUV.
Forensic Files or something, something that would end up watching us in a couple of minutes because we be asleep anyway. So here we are, right? So thank you guys for the congratulations. And so as you guys can see, we are going to talk about Brian McKnight. Some of you guys have probably saw the video of Brian McKnight explaining, I guess, a video or situation that his kids, his older sons, put out saying that basically, and I'm paraphrasing, he was a deadbeat dad. And he made his answer to the video explaining a whole host of things as to why he's not a deadbeat dad. And of course, we are going to talk about JayZ because we haven't been on here in a while. And
it's only been a week, but it seems like it's been forever, right?
Forever. Yeah. So, because you guys know that the topic of JayZ is still trending, I guess, if you will. And I guess somewhere in between we can talk about Popeye's chicken sandwiches too, if y'all want to. So anyway,
do they serve them good butter biscuits?
Butter biscuit chicken sandwiches. The butter biscuit chicken sandwich wars. No?
Right, exactly.
Donovan said as soon as we done, he going over there to Popeyes.
I'm going to Popeyes to see what all the fuss is about.
Right. So anyway, Donovan.
Yes. Now, what I want to talk about, you guys, again, always remember that behind us here is the green screen. So some of you guys can see right now on the live. But behind that green screen, what we want you to do, we want to pull that down and see who's actually pulling the bells and whistles. And if we pull this right now, you'll see Al Jackson is back there doing what he does. So, let's give him some executive producer credits there. As always, he's the one that... And by the way, are we going to be... next season? Have we been renewed for next season?
We've been renewed. Okay. We will be back.
She put her best work in. Anyway. Okay, so you guys saw the Brian McKnight video, before we started the thing, and Brian McKnight basically got married to a Filipino lady, and she's very, she's a doctor. I mean, he's doing well for himself.
In a hospital or something.
Works in a hospital. Yeah, she's got her own little practice and stuff in the hospital. And, Brian McKnight's a couple years older than me. You're 30 years behind me or whatever. So
at least.
So the man's going on with his life. Now, he also has a daughter that's involved in this, and she co-signed him on to what was going on. Right. Now, Brian McKnight raised his two boys with his former wife.
Correct.
And I say this on the show all the time. If you give your kids everything, what will they strive for? Okay?
Right.
Because don't people get on me about, you got to leave something for your son. You got to do this for your kids. No, because if you do that, then all they got to do is wait you out, and they expect something, I don't have a relationship with you, but I'll show up at your funeral to get my share of your estate or whatever. And I said, no, you don't need to do that. So in regards to his daughter, let me talk about her first. The daughter, basically, according to Brian McKnight, was a come-up for the mother.
Right. Yeah, he did say that.
Right.
Yes.
Was a come-up for the mother. Unfortunately, as sad as it is, whatever, the time that and there are videos and pictures of him spending time with his daughter.
Right.
But when you're a product of a situation like that, you will never have that relationship with that father that was just basically there as a child support payment.
Right.
So, my heart goes out to the daughter, but for her to chime in on this situation, even if the sons didn't chime in, she will always be that stigma because she's that outside child.
Well, and that's what he said too. Brian McKnight said that the mom pretty much got pregnant with the daughter as a child support come up, a money grab.
Money grab, exactly. Yeah. So, my heart goes out to the girl, but that circumstance, you will always be that outside child. And, I don't know the situation, but I got to give it to him. I did see videos. I've seen pictures with her. She goes to a prestigious school. I did verify that. Hey, he's doing what he's supposed to do. So how the hell can you call a man who is meeting his financial obligations a deadbeat? By definition, if you're meeting your obligations, a deadbeat is a person who doesn't pay their bills.
Well, it sounds like the sons, though. I mean, his sons, he said, are 30 and 27, something like that. Sounds like, as some of you guys have said, and I'm going to get to every last one of your comments, that the sons made a video pretty much calling Brian McKnight a deadbeat. Sounds like they said he wasn't there for them. And
right, not there for the new grandbaby or the grandchildren.
So Brian McKnight, for the most part, brought receipts on his video, if you will. Because I've seen the videos of him performing with his sons and stuff. He says that not only did they perform, they've written songs together, and he's given them plenty of opportunities.
They directed some of his videos.
The new wife actually tried to get them jobs at the hospital she worked at, but they didn't show up to the interviews. So he says, especially for them being grown, that he's gone above and beyond. And he's like,
got him an apartment for 2 years?
Got him an apartment, the two sons an apartment,
paid for
everything for 2 years, and said
brand new cars before 2 or 3 brand new cars before they were 29.
No, he said it was more than that. I think one of them, he said 8 cars or something like that. So he got him these apartments and said, yo, if you can't make a go out of this, everything's paid for after 2 years, then I don't know what to do.
Right.
So maybe it sounds like that 2 years was up, and then from that point, the kids went sour and, out there stabbing him in the back.
Well, and the thing is, like what do I always say about me? Okay, I'm going to live my life. I mean, I'm done. I've raised my kids, whatever. I'm going to go have a life. That's the whole point. I am not here. Okay, I always say this, me and you get in these philosophical conversations, because like I said, you've done a great job with your daughter and stuff, and you guys have a great relationship. That's awesome. When it comes to men, though, I refuse to support a grown-ass man. I left home at 17, and I know women are a little bit different because you guys are nurturers. But there's no man that I know of, that I have met, that said, yeah, grown man, come and stay on me, and I'll pay all your bills and do all that. By nature, we don't do that.
Right.
And you got to push your kids out.
Well, let me ask you this, and I'm going to get to you guys' comments real quick. Keep this in mind.
Got it.
Like, when is enough enough? Think about that.
Gotcha.
Okay, and so let's see here. So Tay says the chicken sandwich was good. I can't lie. And Asada says, yeah, I seen the video about those entitled brats.
Exactly.
And Tay says, is Al coming on to do his joke of the day?
Yes, absolutely.
We'll have him do one at the end. And Jonelle says, peace, Queen, Donovan, and fam. Big salute. Congratulations on your engagement. Thank you. All praises due to Allah.
I still haven't got my money.
That was very creative, Al. Much blessing to you.
Very
both.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Yes. And Tay says, wasn't Brian cheating on his wife with that daughter that was a product of an extramarital affair?
My understanding, yeah, we don't know if he was, groupie or whatever, but my understanding was him and his wife were, separated. They were about to go through the divorce, and I was lonely.
Then if that's true, we should tell that part of the story. Because from what I heard him say, the mama used the daughter as a come up, but he should also tell the full story. Yeah, I was, getting it in with the side piece, hitting it raw, and then the daughter was a product of you being irresponsible your damn self. So yeah,
and divorced because they divorced his first wife because she was taking money from him. He didn't know about it.
Okay. So when it came down to the finances,
right? Okay. So when is enough enough? Like when is when? Tell us your personal story.
I'm going to give you my personal story.
Okay.
I have a 21-year-old. This kid, I told him, I'm here to help you. I'm your father. If you got a plan, Dad, I need $100 a month because I'm trying to go into this direction. Of course I'm going to help. You got a plan? I'm going to do that. My son right now goes to the University of Arkansas. He's taking advantage of the VA programs. He's making
his master's.
Yeah, and he's making a way for himself. And I'm going to co-sign on that all the way because he's taking advantage of all the advantages that are presented to him.
He can take advice?
Yes, he can take advice. But the thing is, his path, he thought that up himself.
Right.
All I did was say, well, how about this? And I kind of helped him tweak it. And he's going to make his own way, which is fine. As a man, that's what you're supposed to do. You get out in this world and you go get it.
Right.
However you're going to go get it. He wants to be a college athletic director.
Right.
That's his dream, that's his goal, whatever. But he's taking advantage of all the advantages that are put in front of him to make a better situation for himself. Other than the money I've already put out and the benefits that are allotted to him, I don't have to do anything.
So basically you're saying you don't owe your son anything else.
I don't owe him anything else but advice at this point. Because dad's got to go have a life.
Right. And you know, I'm one of those people, and this is to a fault. I'm one of those people to a fault. I'm very giving, and
yes,
you know, I open up, you know, everything to people, my home, everything.
Not everything, but
not everything. Not everything. No. And so that's kind of something I'm learning. Honestly, this is something I'm learning. You can't help everybody.
Yes,
because everybody,
that's right.
Some people you will help, and then they'll turn around when you tell them no, or you tell them something they don't want to hear. But turn around and say, "Oh, well, you actually hurt me. Mm-hmm. You didn't do enough."
They play
for
victim.
Me. Yeah, they play the victim, and so you can't help everyone. And so when I saw Brian McKnight talk about that, I really felt bad for him. For one. Because the truth of the matter is, we don't know all the story. They say there's three sides to a story: their side, his side,
and the truth.
But to have your kids put you
on
out
blast,
there like that,
on public, knowing he's a public official, public person,
put him out there like that. I mean, everybody has seen him working together. There's credits of them writing songs and a whole host of things. But for your kids to put you out on Front Street, you know, in front of the whole, well, like, what was the gain by that?
And you know what I don't understand.
What were we supposed to do? Was that supposed to like bully him into like giving them what they wanted? I don't know.
And I'm really glad that he emphasized their age. We're not talking about 12-year-olds.
Yeah,
we're not talking about 15-year-olds.
Right.
We're talking about grown men.
Right.
And as people of our age and our ilk, yeah, when do
I go get to live my life?
So wait, he's supposed to take care of his kids till they're 40? I mean, why not 40? Why not 50? You know, and so on, so on, so forth.
But let me ask you this, too. Could some of that be his fault?
Yes. And he said that.
Yeah, because sometimes we do help our kids.
Too much.
To the point of we hinder them. You know, it's like my mom's best friend once said, there's a difference of being in love with your kids and loving your kids.
I think I said that too.
Yeah. Because when you're in love with your kids, that you give them everything. You don't want to see them cry. You don't want to see them hurt. You just, you know, you give in. But when you love your kids, you'll tell them no. Even if it hurts.
Yes.
Because you know it's going to make them better people.
And they're going to figure it out. And, you know, I get tired of, and I know I come down on the single moms a lot, but I get tired of the excuses. You are undermining your children. You will be surprised at how innovative the human being is when it comes to survival.
Right. Well, a lot of times...
And don't get me wrong, premium right now is on a premium. Pussy is on a premium right now. Because...
No, but you're absolutely right. When you... it's like birds. Birds do it.
Push them out of the nest.
When the kids get a certain age in life or whatever...
You cut off the food.
They push them out.
Mm-hmm.
Bye.
Either you're going to fly or you're going to fall.
You're going to fly and die.
Sink or you're going to swim.
Now, of course, you don't want your kids out there homeless, you know, turning tricks, none of that stupid stuff.
But you definitely don't want them coming to the house selling drugs in your house and jeopardizing your situation.
This is the other part. Especially in our community. Mm-hmm. We somehow have this freakish ideology that when the kids turn 18, you grown, you're on your own.
Right, and that's wrong. And you hip me to the reasons of why that is.
Because a lot of times, we haven't equipped our kids with enough to be out there on their own at 18. You're 18, you're just chronologically an adult, but you don't have the tools mentally, financially, to, you know, and sometimes physically to even get out there and make a go of it, especially if you're not that type of parent that has taught your kids, you know, how to fend for themselves, you know, slowly but surely, obviously, you know, how to balance a checkbook. Hell, what kind of job you going to get at 18? Right. That's going, especially if you live in California, to help you sustain yourself. Right. So you done kicked your kid out the house at 18 years old, and they don't know anything, and they end up getting in trouble and just having a hard life because we haven't given them the tools necessary to even know how to do any of that. And
Dee and I used to go back and forth with that because here's my situation. I would tell, and I know I'm hard on the women, but, you know, as the leader, I have to be hard. When you let little Pookie sit on the thing and you're not teaching him nothing, right? This is where I have a problem with that. You set him up for failure. You don't teach him that. You don't make him do anything. He's the prince of the house. You're dating your son. Okay, great. That's what you want to do. You want to do that. I, as a man, have a problem with that because now you want to kick him out because he's 28 He's got 4 grandbabies by 3 different women that he keeps putting on you to support. When you should have put your foot down and put expectations on him all the way from, grade school, 6th grade on up, and say, this is your expectations, what you need to do. Because I think it's a crime when you set him up for failure, then you want to kick him out.
Because he getting on your nerves now.
Right.
You want to bring your boo thing home, and you can't because Junior on the couch playing PlayStation.
Exactly. Or he's waiting for you to come home and cook.
Right. Well,
he can't fend for himself.
This is the thing, though. So I don't know what Brian McKnight's situation is or was, and he did say to some degree that he has spoiled the kids.
Yeah, he took advantage of.
So some of that he's got to own.
Yeah, and he owned it. He
said,
you've
done so much for your kids to where they like, it's like the Menendez brothers.
Yes.
Y'all know the Menendez brothers story? What happened with the Menendez brothers?
Killed their parents for the money.
Their parents were uber rich millionaires. It was out here for most of you guys who live out here. Joe, get your comments. Millionaires. Their sons ended up killing them. The wife and the dad and the mom because they wanted their stuff.
Right. They wanted their inheritance right then and there. And their dad was kind of a hardliner, like, okay, you guys got to go get it.
Now, obviously, they're saying there was some other issues, but the premise where a lot of people were saying they were just greedy. Dad couldn't. This is what I do believe firmly, that there's never enough of more.
Right.
And so sometimes you spoil people to the point, and then when you tell them no, like there was a story, I can't remember, it was a football player today. I don't know the backstory, but his son killed him and his wife.
Oh yeah, I saw that article.
Some football player
in
Minnesota, he played for Minnesota, killed him and his wife. And I was telling Al, I said, I bet you he killed him because they told him no. So anyway,
and the Menendez brothers, within a week of burying their parents, they were buying Porsches, Rolex watches. I mean, it was crazy. They just went crazy. So. And
Jonelle says, if these children isn't groomed for what they will inherit, they will lose it via ignorance. The job of the father, as the Honorable Minister Farrakhan teaches, is to take their children, father, and that takes intelligence more than materialistic things. Every child should read Rich Dad, Poor Dad books by Robert Kiyosaki that will give them balance and understanding of life. Yes, I actually have a few of those books, but absolutely. And you also say, but comfortable doesn't birth mainly nothing but laziness. Adversity is what develops and gives creativity and balance to a child with proper guidance, not spoon feeding a child who thinks all things is owed to them from being spoiled to the rotten. No, absolutely.
And I'm going to say this. If you look in our community with these single mothers, I'm so sick and tired of these young women and the old ones talking about there ain't no good men in here. Who are raising these young men? Yes, the father should be there. But in the father's absence, he's not there. You guys should be setting the template of the type of man that young man should be.
Yeah, and then I'm going to speak to the other side of that too. There's a lot of times, because I see some of it on my timeline a lot, where there are fathers who want to spend time with the kids, and I've seen this from the mom's point of view too. Oh, he want to come pick the kids up, but I told him no. He don't really. My son don't really want to go with him. And this,
that's
that,
when
and
I bring my court order and the police.
Right, and I'm like, and so I saw a girl on my timeline doing that. Running the dad down. My son don't want to go with him, and I said, why don't you want to send your son with him?
Right. Because that's the come up.
That's his father.
She's losing the come up money. It's control.
But I'm saying even
it's about control.
Even just to visit. And
it's control.
Up the road when you're having problems with him, then you're gonna want to send him off. But it's like he's supposed to be with his father.
It's
like
control.
Why? Let go.
It's control. They want to control us, and that's what it comes down to.
In that control aspect of it, you're ruining the child.
Of course, they don't. But they don't care about that. They don't care about that. I got a story. I have a friend who has people living with her, and she's basically doing them a favor. And they were raised, to me, what it seems when she's telling me,
with a silver spoon in their mouth.
Yeah, and we're in a situation that come up, they should be humbled.
See, and this is the other problem. So, excuse me, millennials, I'm not trying to come down on y'all at all. Millennials, y'all don't know how to take advice for nothing. Y'all know everything. Every single thing I know. I know what you tell me. I know.
I know how to get evicted.
I'm gonna tell you. You don't know, which is why we're trying to tell you. And I get it. I was that, young once, and
we're like our parents. We did what we're told, and we kind of
but it's like we can't say nothing to y'all.
Right.
Y'all can't take we don't have no life experience, nothing to offer you at all.
Or remember, like we used to borrow money from our parents, and they would put conditions on it, and we would have to agree to those conditions. Millennials want the money, and they don't even want you to tell them how to use the money.
Exactly. Or I'll give it to you, but what you need it for? Well,
don't worry about that.
I'm gonna do something with it.
Of course.
Right. And Tay says bitter women use kids as pawns. They do more harm to the child by keeping that away. Yeah, it's just, but to Donovan's point, it's about control. Well, you do what I say do. Well, I don't want him to go with you. Mm-hmm. I don't like your woman. And where y'all going? Well, you can't take him here. You can't do this. You can't do that. It's like when the child leaves your care, he's in the care of his father. Go on and kick your heels up. Go do what you gonna do.
Which also buys into the myth that blacks. I got to talk specifically about my group. Mm-hmm. Black men don't care about their kids or we're absent. That's not true.
Myth.
Yeah, that's not true. We want to be with our kids. We want to do. At least some of us want to do.
And black men are more involved with their children than any other man. Mm-hmm. Now, marriage-wise, we ain't really like married as much as other people, but you guys are involved with your children. A lot of times, you're not married, but maybe you're in the same home, or you're, obviously,
I'm down the street.
Yeah, but you do have involvement with your kids. So all that deadbeat black baby daddy is a myth. Also, we know who the original deadbeat baby daddy is, but we ain't gonna get into that. That's a whole other show. All right. So Jonelle says a lot of women use the child as ransom and literally run interference due to feelings being inconsiderate of the child innate longing for their father. Yes, kids are always gonna want to be with their father. I mean, unless he's just
especially the boys.
Right.
Well, the girls too, but the boys. I don't care what you say. A woman can't teach a boy to be a man. You can't.
You can't do it. I mean, there's things you can show him, but you can't teach him about what it is to be a man.
Right.
But and that's unfortunate, Jonelle. A lot of times women do use the child for ransom as a hostage.
As a hostage.
Do everything I say do.
Or
who is that in the car with you? Mm-hmm. Oh no, you can't take it because all of the nonsense is like. Mind your business.
And because, we don't want to be in the judicial system, some of us that have prior records, or we just don't want to get in the system, even though we have rights, we don't want to push it. And so the woman, there are cases where the woman is outright going against the child support order or the custody order, and she don't give a damn.
And I say to men that have that happen, call a man owner.
Yeah, call the man owner. But we don't. A lot of men.
Don't forget that.
Yeah,
that ain't what you want to do. Is what you need to do.
Yeah, it's what you need to do. Right.
Man, if I was a man and a woman did that to me, the first time she did that to me, I have a situation. I got a court order. She's not giving me my child. Yes, I'll wait here until you get here.
Yes. Did you guys notice how Dee was showing that ring as she was doing that? That big old rock. You guys notice that?
No.
Okay, I was just wondering because I noticed it because I saw this big old.
That's my phone finger right there.
Yeah, I saw this big old blink happen, and I was like, "What is that?" So.
No, but for real though, I hear a lot of men say that. Oh, I just don't,
Yeah, you don't want to.
I want to be the.
I don't want to lock mom up.
Shit.
Now, if it was my first mom, I'm putting that bitch under the jail.
No, if it was me, and if that's the consequences of you making me wait out here to pick my child up because you get in your feelings and you feeling like you want to play, the court, the judge today, you going to jail if that's what they want to do to you.
Yeah, exactly.
And Tay says, that's right, men need to call the law if they are being kept away from their children. Point blank. She gonna call a man on you.
That's true. Speaking of Miss Tay, Dominic is going into the 10th grade this year? I saw him filling out some paperwork. I don't know if that was a job application.
Is he in the 9th grade or 10th grade?
So,
there's just levels to how children get the way they are. And just taking it back to Brian McKnight, I'm sure, Brian McKnight's got a lot of money. So I'm sure he has a lot of resources. And
publishing and stuff,
you have money and you have the ability to tell your kids yes more than you would tell them no. I don't know what upbringing Brian McKnight had. Probably his parents probably didn't. millions and millions of dollars. Yeah. You know, but now he has the resources to say yes, but as he's now seeing, that is
by entitling his kid, it backfired on him.
It manifested some monsters.
Yeah. Really big time. And, you know, just because you got the money doesn't mean you have to just spoil them fucking rotten. You know, just give them what they need. There's a difference between a want and a need.
Right. You know, they say, too, that nowadays first generation millionaires rarely produce a second one. Right. Because that... the first generation of millionaires has the ideology, oh, well, I want to give them what I didn't have. Yeah. I didn't have a Ferrari when I was 16.
Not me.
So I want to give them one now when they turn 16.
No.
You know, these sweet 16, mega bashes, and all this other stuff.
So real quick, let me ask you this, Dee. I just got a question.
Wait, let me get this comment real quick. And Tay says,
look, my girlfriend
lost custody of her kids by keeping the dad away. I know
Tay, I told you don't tell nobody that. Okay? Don't tell them.
I know a few people, women, that was their situation too, kept playing games, and the man was like, I'm sick of you.
So let me ask you this. I'm in a situation.
He's a freshman.
Okay. Well, get ready. You got 3 years of these
little
girls banging on the door, calling, and make sure Dominic got his own line and everything, and you know whatever. But
Donovan, it's not like we had to take the long phone cord
and the cord and the extension,
and then your mama pick up the phone. You still on that phone?
Get off that phone!
I need to make a phone call.
Yeah, no, wait a minute. Get your ass off that phone.
Yes,
embarrass you.
And you're like, gotta go.
But what do you do when you do have children that are like that, and the parents aren't, they don't want to be bothered, but you're the one that has to deal with it? What do you do in a situation like that?
Say that again.
Okay, I've got, let's say, a nephew or a niece, but I see, a good example, I'm going to talk about my family situation, but my nieces are out there doing it.
Okay.
But I look at how my brother deals with it. My mother doesn't agree with it, but I agree with what my brother's doing. He's done everything he possibly could. They are grown now. So my brother has basically said, I'm done. When both parents, well, one parent, trying to use him as a come up still, but when the father is done with him, what do you do at that point? Why should I, as the uncle, have to step in and then take on the problem that their own parents won't even deal with?
Man.
You know what I mean?
I mean, well, you shouldn't. I'm a firm, because listen, I always tell people, I was out of the house when I was 19.
17?
I moved out when I was 19, and pretty much been out there ever since, Right. But, I don't know.
But grandmama's, we got to do that. Talk to my brother. He needs to do this, he needs to do that. And, and grandma's going to be grandma or whatever, which is, like I said, you guys hear me talk about my mom. My mom's a very unusual character. She's a throwback. She is who she is, and I love her for who she is. Because she lets the grandkids get away with shit that would have just put us under the ground.
Well, so they say you like the kids, but you love the grandkids.
Right. But I see situations where my brother and his, he got married, and his wife, they're going on vacations and stuff, and my mom is like, well, why aren't you more involved? I said, Mom, he doesn't have to be involved. He's done.
I just say it this way. They're adults, and my dad always says, if you can't take my advice, you can't take my money. Don't come asking me for my resources, and then when I try to get... Because to me, wisdom is often more valuable than money, because money you can spend.
Right.
I can give you, like they say, you give a man a fish, he'll eat for a day. Teach him how to fish, he'll eat for a lifetime. So if I give you the wisdom and the knowledge, and you actually take the wisdom and the knowledge, that is going to teach you how not to keep coming back to me for my resources if you're paying attention. But as I said, millennials, it's nails to a chalkboard to me. They can't take advice, but they want your resources.
Right.
I can't give you, I can't tell you, well, you know what, when I was your age, this happened, and this is probably the best way to do it. Well, I already know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, to that point, though, you got to let them do what they're going to do.
Exactly.
And so, let's see.
The commish.
Hey, Commissioner Baker, what's happening? Let's see. And Jonelle says, Brian McKnight more than likely was blowing money on his sons. Yep. He loved his boys. When you reflect on him and them, he always was promoting them and singing with them. Yeah, and that's what he was saying. Like, I wasn't neglecting them.
Yeah.
Now that the money train, or the gravy train rather, has dried up, now I'm a son.
And of course, they're going to blame the wife, the new wife, because now dad's attention is focused on his wife.
I'm gonna say this too. I don't know. I wasn't there. I don't know. I could be wrong, but I doubt it. But they mamas probably got a large role playing out. He over there married. He don't want to do nothing for y'all now. Look how he acting over there. Yeah, he wrong for that. He's spending all that money on the wife and the new baby, but he ain't just left y'all. I'm sure that, because I always say this: a mama is supposed to be a uniter and not a divider. And a lot of times, the mom, she needs to be, if I was their mom, I'd be like, yes, your dad is balling. He's done a lot of stuff for you. Now you need to go out there and do what men do. Your daddy don't owe you nothing
at this point.
He's entitled, because I know people, in my own family, his paying child support, this, that, and the other. And every time this dude get a new pair of tennis shoes or some shoelaces, and the wife or the ex-wife finds out about it, oh, well, why? He's doing this, he's doing that, or he should be giving me that. And
right. He owes me back child support.
I think about Mos Def in the child support thing. He says when he went to move to Africa, I think he's back now. He said he moved to South Africa. He said because the child support system is not fair here. He says every time I do a new movie role or something, they want to take me back to court.
Right.
And so
because they want to raise.
Right. And Commissioner Baker says, not part of the subject today, just for your information, I'll be repelling the 10-story, 120-foot Regency Tower in Riverside tomorrow at 11:20 for Habitat for Humanity. Okay. Proceeds go to help vets buy homes. Wish me luck and bring a shovel just in case. All right.
Okay, Commish, I commend you for helping the veterans and stuff like that, as you always do. You're really big in the community of Riverside. For those that don't know, Commissioner...
And he's a veteran, too.
Yeah, he's a veteran as well. Commissioner Baker is really involved in the Inland Empire community here in Southern California.
Absolutely.
I'm going to give you this advice. Have you remember that show, movie Faces of Death, 1, 2, and 3, and 4? I think it was 4 volumes. Commissioner, whatever you do, make sure you do correct math on that rappelling line. Remember that guy that jumped off? He had just graduated college. Yeah. And, I guess it was like, he jumped off a hotel. It was 15 stories on the hotel or something like that. Remember, there is no 13th floor in a hotel. So the guy just lawn darted right into the ground.
Well,
college graduate.
That won't be the case.
So, Commissioner Baker, be very careful. Double check, triple check if you need to, just to be sure.
Please do. Hey, Pamela, he says, I see that you're on live now. I'm watching the Dodger game. I will listen to the show later. Have a great weekend.
Yes, you do the same. You do the same.
And Jonelle says, if they're grown children, you can throw them some change. But the guidance is most important, especially for a misguided man. But most grown people got to learn from experience. Absolutely.
There it is.
How will you know if you don't, like I always say,
you don't struggle.
The older people say, fat meat is greasy. It comes a time in everybody's life, I don't care how old you are, that you have to learn that fat meat is greasy. At one point, I don't care how big or small the lesson is, everybody's got to learn that somehow. And they'll never learn it as long as we keep on, babying them, if you will.
Right.
Hey, Brian, and he says, knowledge is power. Absolutely. And it's worth more than money. Exactly. And although you can't take knowledge to the light company.
Right.
What's happening, Cena? He says, being a parent, your job is never done. Advice is always needed, but it's nothing wrong with just being there when they need help. No, absolutely.
No, we're not. Yeah, we're not saying that, but we're saying, when does it come a point to where you, especially for men. Now, I know women, sometimes you guys get in situations where you got the baby and you need help. Not saying there should be any difference, but we know women sometimes need more, especially young women need more help than a young man.
Right. Well,
to be men, you got to stand on your own. Or, like my father says, you're not fit to walk amongst men. If you're dependent on your mama, because me and my mom used to get in, this is a true story. Me and my mom would get into it, even to this day, all the time, because I did not ask her for help. I want to figure it out as a man.
Right.
First.
Right.
How can I call myself a man if I haven't exhausted all the possibilities?
And I would say this too. Define help.
Right.
That's where I go with it. Define help. Like help with, mama need work an extra shift. Can you watch my child?
Right.
Well, how long is this shift? That would be me. How long is this shift? But help to where you keep dropping the ball and you're expecting me to keep picking the ball up for you, or, you know, no shade to anybody, but not only do you have one baby daddy, you go out there and you get another baby daddy, then you get another one, and you keep bringing all these kids home. So you can have all the baby daddies you want if you were taking those babies to your house. But if you got the baby daddies and you keep wanting to come live with me and you got all these kids, I can't keep helping you because my help is actually hindering you.
Exactly. Matter of fact, I have a family member that you just described. Yeah, I mean, you know, her parents do everything for the children, whatever. And the children are on the parents, and she's living a totally different life. You know, so when does it cut off?
You're not gonna keep bringing home I don't have any grandkids at this moment. I don't, none in the near future.
Maybe when we come back from Africa.
No, but I'm not gonna be that grandma that keep raising all your grandbabies because you out there kicking your heels up on the dance floor and in the bed. I'm not gonna be that kind of grandma.
Right.
Because my mom wasn't that way. My mom was like, okay, I was 21, almost 22 and I had my daughter, but you did grown-up things and you need to do grown-up things and take care of your child. Now, my mom helped me when I needed it, but I knew that I was going to swim on my own, and if my mama needed to throw me a life raft every once in a while, I knew she was there for that, which is probably why I didn't have no whole bunch of kids, because I didn't have that type of mama.
Because your mom said, that's it. I
got out there doing the liquor slide. All my kids grown.
Wait. And, no shade to my friend Walter, but he was popping them out.
Yeah, you know what though? One thing I said about Walter, because my brother has 6 kids.
6 kids, yeah.
He took care of all his kids.
Right. But I'm just saying, your mom...
I took care of 3 of them.
Well, what I'm saying is, mom was into the grandkids over there, helping out, enjoying her grandkids.
Yeah, but my mama was not that grandmama that was just like, bring the babies over here, child. No. Mm-hmm. And Tay says, but people need to know who they lay down with before you have a baby with them. Y'all can see these money-hungry hoes stop procreating with them, right? Nah, all they see is that big giant booty.
That big booty and a smile.
Right, and then when she talking about I'm pregnant, that big booty don't look that good no more, huh?
Or them hazel eyes.
Right, all of that. Okay?
I'm important that tag.
And that big says that the negative seed dropping is something else too. His sons clearly was too comfortable, and now he should coach them via experience. They got to man up or learn to man up. Absolutely.
Right. Yeah, because there does come a time in a man, we just say we're done. We get to that point where, especially when it comes to other men, we're done.
Again, I think a lot of that had to do with Brian and the way he brought them up in the first place. He created these Frankensteins, and then you're mad because they acted like monsters.
And and what kills me is they were on tour with this man. If you kind of add it up, over 5 years.
Right. So where's your money?
Yeah, where's the
connects? Money? And now they're so dumb. Now I was trying to say a bad word, but I'm trying to think of you didn't, tore up your daddy's, and not his reputation, but put him out there on Front Street. Right. Now you think anybody in the industry gonna want to work with you? Brian McKnight, I'm sure got a lot of connections.
And then here's another thing. What do I say on this show all the time? I have yet to see a movie where somebody has done drugs. I don't care what you say. Marijuana is a gateway drug, just like alcohol is a drug. But we're talking about marijuana that's illegal. According to Brian, and I've seen his son's post, his oldest son and the youngest son. Mm-hmm. They're out there smoking the reefer and the tweeds and all that other stuff.
They won't stop
smoking.
Right,
they won't stop smoking, and it kills me because they're not the only ones that do that.
Yeah,
the stepmom set them up with a job, but they preferred to smoke rather than to go get the damn job.
Well, no, they want daddy to keep, writing them checks.
Exactly. So for all you guys out there that talk about, look how cool it is. I have yet to see in Hollywood where you've done any kind of drug and it worked out. Even the alcoholic in the movie, nothing ever works out for the guy.
And I've asked you this question. Think about this. So, he's a millionaire. Shouldn't he, look out for him? Think about that.
Hell no.
And Jonelle says, Commissioner says, no bungee, it's a slow crawl.
Right, okay,
and
gotcha.
Jonelle says sometimes help is a solid no.
Yes.
You ain't lying. And you also say, not only that, they should have been making contacts and getting work or learning to start a business. That's why I said, like, what did you do? You had access to all those people. You didn't make no connects.
I have a friend right now that is professionally trained, and like a hairstylist. And I don't want to say what it is exactly, but it's a job that you have to have your reputation intact.
Right.
But this person chooses to smoke. Family members will not give her a job based on the reputation of her being a known smoker.
Smoking weed. Yeah. I mean, I know it's legal, especially out here, but there's a lot of jobs like, that's nice. No. You can't be high on the job.
Or, nobody wants you to babysit their kids if you're a known... I mean, I wouldn't want anybody to babysit my kids if I know they're smokers.
Out there token.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to do it. I mean, even though it's, I just sleep when I get high. No.
I'm relaxing.
Yeah, I don't want you around my kids if I know you're involved in that kind of stuff.
Right. And Brian says, teach your children life skills, business skills, and responsible use of credit. Right, but see, and to that point, a lot of people don't teach their kids that, and so when it comes time to turn 18, it's like, all right, get out.
Yeah.
Or a lot of times people send their kids to college, and they end up getting all those credit cards and getting into debt because they haven't really been taught about, like you said, using credit.
Then you got to remember, too, not only did they get the credit card debt, they still have the Pell Grant debt. And there are no jobs out here.
Right.
And nobody's telling the kids, go to technical school and learn to work with your hands. Because if you think about it, the only people that are working out here are the people that know automotive, aeronautical, hair, cosmetology.
And hoeing.
That ain't much of a job, but it is on a premium.
Depending on who you ask, okay?
Exactly.
Not that I know nothing about. I don't know anything about that.
But see, and that's what I'm saying. We really got to stop sending our kids, especially when you know your kid is not really... If they want to go, let them go when they turn 18. That's their right. They can go on their own. But what I'm
boot them out when they don't know that. It's like, come on.
Yeah, I mean, what's wrong with urban construction? Learning that in college and learning a technical skill that they can actually use.
Right.
Everybody has a college degree now. There are not enough jobs.
Right. You ain't got to make your own job. Trust me, I know. And Cena says, these children are having babies so young they're making mothers, grandmas early and don't understand that we as mothers have done our job. So good luck with that. No, absolutely. I mean, like I said, I don't have no kids, but my daughter has been thoroughly taught. My daughter's, up there. I won't say her age.
She looks like she's 16 though.
Right. She doesn't have any kids or anything like that, but I told her, have a child with a man that you're married to, preferably. Somebody you know is going to stick around for the long haul, so that way you don't have to come home and say, well, mama, because I ain't going to necessarily I'm not going to see my child struggle, but I'm not going to be that one.
Put it like this.
Because I love the kids, but I can't diaper bags and car
Put it
seats.
like this. If I had a daughter, I'll give you one mistake. Because, you got first love, it didn't work out, you have a baby together. Now, the second one, you better be married, goddammit. You know what I mean?
Or what? What you gonna do?
You can't stay in my house no more.
You gonna put her and the kids out on the street?
You damn right. You damn right. You gotta go.
He has some girls, he have a house full of kids. Bring those grandbabies over here.
No, I'm gonna have a house. Wait. I'm gonna have a house full of kids, but I won't be living here. I'll be overseas. They can have it. I'll give up.
They gonna run you up out of here.
They run me up out of here.
And Terry says, kids. Let me make sure I didn't skip a comment. Terry says, and hello to you. Says kids were entitled and they didn't want to go any further in life without daddy's money or reputation.
Daddy worked hard for that money.
That's daddy money.
That's dad's money.
That is daddy's money. He says, if you feel your dad is worth more to you dead than alive, ain't that some mess? Then it's time for me to cut the cord completely and float on. Ain't that some mess? Yeah. You worth more to me dead than alive?
Like you did something for me.
I hope he changed the locks. I'm just saying, if that's how you thinking about me, I'm ready to change the locks.
And think about this. Like I said, I never used weed.
Wait, and then he said they broke into his house.
So he might have vandalized the pictures and stuff. But then again, like I said, I've never used marijuana like that, any kind of illicit drug. But I've heard stories where that alters your mind.
Yeah, it does.
So if I was Brian, like you said, change the locks. You better get a gun. Do something.
Ain't that some mess? Broke in his house and then tore up
vandalize
the
pictures. What did the stepmom do to you? Nothing.
I'm telling you, I don't know for sure, but that's probably coming a lot from their mamas. That heifer over there. That should be me.
Congratulations. ones. It should have been me.
And Cena says, we as blacks were taught only to survive, not how to live, so it's time to break the cycle.
Yes.
I mean, you ain't lying, and it is. It's a fact. We have been taught, to be...
Roaching.